A very good afternoon, everyone. I, Apurva Project Officer, on behalf of City University, take pleasure to welcome our today's speaker, who is Dr. Neelu Jain, Assistant Professor, Senior Scale, Manipal University, Jaipur. Is working as an assistant professor in Manipal University. She has done her PhD from the IIS University, Jaipur. She has 10 years um, of experience and has a keen interest in academics. She has participated in several seminars, conferences, workshops, and faculty development programs. Apart from this, she has also delivered guest lectures on topics like related to management, personality development, and communication skills. Without any further ado, ma'am, I hand over the session to you.
Thank you so much, Apurva. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can we begin, Apurva?
Sure, ma'am. Please.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you all for today's session on stages of business development process. As Apurva has already communicated to you about myself, I'm Dr. Neelu Jain, and I'm working as an assistant professor in the Directorate of Online Education, Manipal University, Jaipur. Next slide, please. Okay, so before I begin the session, let us discuss about what do you mean by business development. See, whenever we talk about this term, that is business development, it is that you want to take your company to another level, right? You want to expand your market, you want to launch some new products, you want to go into some new services. And why all these things are being done? It is because you want to increase the profit of your company, you want to increase the efficiency of the organization in whichsoever you are working, right? And apart from all of these, the most important thing when it comes to business development is that business development, the main focus on business development is about creating a value, right? And for that purpose, you are finding some new ways, you are finding the new opportunities, you are developing some strategies, you want to develop some plans also, right? So that you can achieve that goal, and that goal is creating the value for the organization, for the business that that you are working. And there are various approaches to business development, but all the approaches, when I talk about this business development, is it shares a common goal. And what is that common goal? Is to create the value for the company or the organization, right? So creating the value for the organization, it's really very important, and that is the reason that we develop our business. We want to try some new markets, we want to expand our horizons, and we want to launch some new products. But whenever we are into this business development process, right, so the most important thing to remember about this business development is that it's not just a one time event, right? That you have expanded the market and the thing is done. Why? Because you need to keep on trying, you need to develop some strategies. There is going to be a lot of competition in the market. So in order to face that competition, it is not going to be a one time event, but it is it is going to be an ongoing process, and it should be integrated into the overall strategy and the operations of the company or the organization, right? So keep in mind one thing, that whenever you are going for this business development, so it's not going to be a one time event, it's not a single transaction, but it is going to be for the ongoing process. And for that purpose, you need to keep on evolving your business, you need to keep on evolving your product, because whenever you launch any new product, right, so the product itself has different stages that the product goes through. So when the product reaches the end stage, it is the time that you need to evolve your product, and that is the reason that your business development, it comes into the category of the ongoing process, right? So whenever we this business development, it is you can divide it into three primary activities. The first is you have to identify, you have to develop new business opportunities, definitely, because once if you want to keep yourself in the market, so there has to be that you need to keep on trying, you need to keep on, you have to be innovative basically. And for that purpose, you have to develop new business opportunities. The next most important thing is you need to maximize value from the existing customers. See, a customer is basically, the customer is really very important, right? So you have to retain your customers, and in order to retain your customer, you have to make sure that how many customers are in line with you. You have to retain them, and what is the best possible way to retain those customers? Try to take the customer feedback, try to improve your product accordingly. So this is how you are going to maximize the value from the existing customers. If the feedback is good, then well, it's fine. If you find that the customer feedback is not going well, and the customer is demanding something else, something more, so you have to make sure that your product, your business is going to meet those demands of the existing customers and even the new customers. The next is you have to build and maintain the relationships with the key partners and stakeholders. See, your partners, your stakeholders, they are very important. Why? Because if you want to develop your business, you need to have finances, right? And these stakeholders, the partners, they are going to be a big help for you in that case. Sometimes you will find there are internal stakeholders. Sometimes the external stakeholders are also there. External stakeholders, for example, the banks, right? So if you want to go for loan, if you want to go for some monetary transactions, so in that purpose, you have to make sure that you are maintaining the relationships with your external stakeholders as well as the internal stakeholders. Is that clear? So this slide basically, it talks about that what is business development, and how you can define this business development. By expanding your market, by launching the new products, you need to create the value for the organization. And the most important is that it's not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process, and for that purpose you need to keep on evolving it. Is that clear? Okay, next slide. Okay, so when I talk about business development, we have already discussed that this business development, it is that you are identifying, you are attracting, you are acquiring new business so that your company can grow, you can have some, there are some growth goals. But how you are going to achieve these goals? So basically, when you are planning to achieve these goals, it means that you are developing a strategy. That is the business development strategy. And this strategy, it is going to apply and it is going to benefit all the people in the organization. So one such strategy is the strategic planning approach. Now, what is the strategic planning approach? It means that you are setting the goals and you have already set up the objectives. And then to achieve those goals, those objectives of the organization, you have developed some specific strategies, you have developed some plans to achieve them, right? So this strategic planning approach, right, it focuses upon that you have set the goals, you have set the objectives, and then you have developed the strategies to achieve them. Now this for this purpose that you have to do the strategic planning, right? What is the main goal of this strategic planning is that you have to take the company from its current status to the desired status, right? And to move the company from the current status to the desired status, you will find there are lots of business actions. There are series of actions in between them, right? So in order to move from the current to the desired, you need to form the strategy. And this business strategic planning, it consists of defining the goals of the business. For that purpose, you need to do the SWOT analysis of the organization. Now, what is the SWOT analysis? SWOT. It stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, right? So when you get to know what are the strengths of my organization or of my product, what is the weakness, what are the opportunities that I can get from the strength, or what are the threats that are generated from the weakness. So it becomes easy to develop that strategy. And whenever you develop the strategy for the business, right? So the leadership the management team, the management in the organization, it plays a very important role, because they are the people who are going to give the direction to the organization, that this is how you need to make this strategy so that we can achieve this goal. This is how you need to plan, and you need to follow the management in that case, right? The next is the business model approach, and this approach, it basically focuses on identifying and exploiting the different opportunities in the marketplace. Now, when it comes that you have to identify, you have to explore the places in the marketplace, what is the first important thing? The very first important thing is you have to do the research of the market, right? You need to analyze your market. What are the needs of the market? What is the target audience? And what are the current trends, right, that are in right now? And accordingly, you need, after you have done this market research, that this is the current trend, these are the needs that should be met for the target market. After that, what you are going to do is you are going to develop a strategy, and the strategy should be devised in such a way that whatever you have done in the market research, so you are able to take it to your target audience. Now, for that purpose, it might be possible that sometimes it is necessary that you have to launch a new product, you have to expand into new markets also. Is that clear? And all these things depends upon what type of research you have done in your market, and accordingly you are going to devise a strategy. After you have devised the strategy, what you are going to do is you are going to put together this plan of action, right? You are going to form a timeline, you are going to form what are the milestones, what do you need in order to achieve the goal. So this is basically the plan of action, and after you have put forward the plan of action, you are going to track your progress, right? So that whatever the research you have done, whatever strategy you have made, whatever plan of action you have performed, what it is up to now, whether are you able to achieve the goal, whether you are able to identify, whether you are able to explore the opportunities in the market. Is that clear? And the key to this successful business development is that you should always be in the learning process. You should keep on evolving yourself, right? So, and this is basically possible when you are open to this learning environment, right? You are always looking for the new opportunities, the ways you can improve your process, how innovative you can be in terms of enhancing your business. Okay, let's move to the next slide. The next slide, it talks about the business development process. Now, what is the process that is being followed so that your business can grow? Is that clear? In which the first one is, again, we have already discussed in the previous slide, but just a quick recap we are going to do in this slide is that business development is basically you are creating value for the company, right? And for that purpose, you need to do a market analysis. You need to research your market. You need to identify what are the opportunities that are there in the market, and whether whatever whatever opportunities you have identified, the next step in this is that you have to assess what is the feasibility of the opportunity. Now, this assessment, it basically includes that whether there is what is the potential market size, what are the different competitors which are there in the market, whether the company is able to serve the market, right? And what is going to be the profitability range. So all these things you need to be make sure that whether whatever you have done the market analysis, and whether you are going to find a new product, be something innovative, creative, so whether it is feasible or not from business point of view. If it is not feasible, if you're not sure that the organization is going to move into that direction, right, it's not feasible, so it's better to just go through once again to the by doing the market analysis and research again. Now, once this market opportunity it is assessed, you have to develop a business plan, right? You have to develop a strategy, basically the marketing strategy, what is going to be the sales strategy, how you are going to project the finances, what are the different risks, challenges which are associated with the opportunities. As I told you, that you have to identify whether it is feasible or not, right? So try to find out what are the different risks, what are the challenges which are associated with this particular opportunity. And for that purpose, you also need to make sure that whether you are having enough funding for the new product or for the venture that you're going to go through, right? Because in case if you are having lots of loans, right, but if the product is not so feasible, then again it is going to be very problematic for you to repay it back. So make sure that after the business plan it is developed, the next step in that is that you are going for secure funding for the new venture, right? And this funding, it can come from the, as I told you, from the internal stakeholders also, as well as from the external stakeholders. Now once you have secured this funding, the next step is that you are launching the new venture, right? And after you have launched the new product in the market, you need to monitor, you need to track the progress, that what are the loopholes, you need to go for the customer feedback, and then accordingly you need to, this is going to be a very tough time actually. Whenever a new product is being launched, you again might have seen many times that the company, they give several offers when a new product is being launched, and that is because they want the customers to try that product. Once the customer tries the product and the customer is satisfied, then again it goes to the next stage, that is the growth stage. But in case if somewhere the product is lacking, right, so in that case, accordingly again you need to develop your business. This is because this business development process, it is not a one time process, it is an ongoing process that we have already discussed in the previous slide. So you need to follow this process, and the companies, they can increase their chances of success in launching new ventures if they follow this process. That is, first you are going to analyze the market, you are going to research the market. After that, develop a strategy, put whatever strategy you have developed, put it into a plan of action, and then after that you need to track the progress, right? So this is how your business development process it goes through. Next slide, please. Okay, now what are the tools and techniques of business development? The very first tool and technique is, again, these tools and techniques of the business development, it keeps on evolving. You will find that previously, there was some different tool and technique, and now because with the changing times, right, because there is so much technical advancement nowadays, so you will find that these tools and techniques also, it keeps on evolving. But again, there are some core methods that all businesses they use so that they can, they can achieve the value for the organization, they can achieve the goal for the organization. And one such tool is the market research. Now this market research, basically it's really very, very important. You have to identify your target audience, your target customers, what is the target market, who are the potential customers, right? And what are their needs, what are their requirements in all these things. So this information is really very important, and that is only possible when you are researching your market, that what your customer is demanding, what is the need of the hour, and accordingly to with the need of the hour, you are going to plan your business process in that way. Now another key tool is your business planning also. And when you have a strong business plan, right, the strong business plan will include your market, it is going to include the financial projections, and this is going to include your sales and marketing strategy. As I told you, that the finances are really very important, because until and unless you are clear with the financial projections, so it is going to be very difficult for you. And once you are done that this is how am I going to raise the finances, now this understanding of the this business plan, it can also include that what type of advertising you are going to do, what is the promotional offers that you are going to bring, what is the direct marketing. Again, you might have seen, if many of you watched that Shark Tank, right? So many of the people, they are just coming there to just do the marketing of their product, right? And what is happening is that although they have not they have not taken any deal from the sharks, or they were not given any deal from the sharks, but still their products, right now we are surfing their products, and in case we like them, then we are using their products. So this is a biggest advantage of marketing your products. So for that purpose, how you are going to do the marketing, right? So you need to keep in mind all these things. And what is the goal? The goal is basically that you are generating the interest in the business and in the products. You are encouraging your customers to buy the products. As I told you, that although they didn't get any deal, right? But still, we were compelled to go through the site, and in case if we liked, we were at least compelled to try the product once, right? So if the customer is trying the product once, there are huge chances that the business can prosper. But again, you need to use the right tools, you need to use the right techniques so that your business can grow and it can reach new levels of success. So these are the tools and techniques. There are different tools and techniques which keeps on evolving, but this is something that you will find in each and every business, that you have to do the market research. You need to make sure that there are enough financial projections, and what are the sales tactics, what are the marketing skills that you are going to use for your business, right? Next slide, please. Now we are going to go through the different stages of this business development process, in which the first is the existence stage. Now this existence stage, it is also called as the startup phase. Now this is basically, in the startup phase, what happens is that the owner is managing the operations and whatever important activities are being done, right? So you will find that the owner is doing all the things in that case. The owner, you will also find that sometimes the owner is also, funding the whole venture, right? So in this existence stage or this startup phase, the brand is, the business or the brand, they are trying to find new customers. They want to retain their customers. So even if the business has revenue, there probably is not much chance that they are going to get the profits, right? Why? Because this is just the startup phase. There are going to be, you need to raise money also, you need to find the investors also, and for that purpose sometimes it happens that you need to keep your profits short so that you can get enough customers for that part. So we were discussing about this first stage, that is the existence stage. And for that purpose, in the very first stage, when you are launching the new products, you need to make sure to survive the existence stage. The entrepreneurs should learn about what are the available options to raise money. And we also discussed that you have to find the investors, right? So that you can achieve the vision of your whatever the business plan is. And the owners, basically, when it comes to the first stage of the business development process, the owners, they need to have strong business acumen, and they should learn early that how they should manage the organization's finance. Again, taking into example the Shark Tank, what happened whenever any deal used to come. So the first thing the sharks used to do is they were very enthusiastic to know about the financial transactions. What were the previous year transactions, the previous month, and what are their future goals, right? So for that purpose, you need to manage the organization's finances very well, right? So this is basically that in the existence stage, you are managing the organization's financing, you are expanding the products, and you are doing the market research so that you can create a business plan. And to take your business to another level, what we need to do is you need to make sure that the company is efficient, and when it means that you are expanding your business, for when it comes to expanding the business, right? So for that purpose, you have to hire the employees also. Now, when it comes to hiring the employees, you should know that what task I should give to this particular person. So delegation is really very important. You need to delegate the task so that everyone is doing their own work. And for example, to one team, you have given that you are going to look after the sales. To another, it is going to be marketing. To another is that you have to raise the finances, right? So you have to delegate the task accordingly, but keeping in mind that you are tracking whatever they are doing. And for that purpose, you have to establish a very creative culture, because until and unless there is an innovative culture in the organization, again, this business development process, it's not going to last long. You have to be creative, you have to be innovative in this current scenario, because many businesses in the existence stage who are successful in introducing their products and services, they start looking to expand. And what do you mean by this expansion? It means that you are going to modify your products, you are going to be creative in terms of your product, you are going to improve the product so that whatever customer feedback you are getting, right, you can match the customer feedback, and accordingly you can, you can increase the market size in that way. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, the next slide is about the stage 2, that is the survival stage. Now, the survival is it is the second stage which follows after the existence stage, and now the business has, it has proven that it's a viable brand. The business has found, you will find that, the business has found a market for its products, and it has acquired some customers also. So after you have, whatever you have gone through the market research, the strategy at this particular stage of growth is that you have to survive, right? You have made enough plans, you have, you have been creative also, you have delegated the task also, but what are we looking for? We are looking for the survival of your business, which means that the business needs to start looking for different ways so that they can get the financial projections. See, finance is really very important when it comes to business, because if you're not having enough finances, you will face a lot of problems, right? So you have to evaluate, you need to do the feasibility study, right? And after doing the feasibility study that we have already discussed in the previous slide, that whether whatever you are going to do, whether it is feasible or not, right? So after doing the feasibility study, you have to find out different ways to get those financial projections, right? And you have to evaluate the idea to determine that which product or service the business will offer. And this is possible only after doing the feasibility stage. The owner should also, at this stage, should also look for establishing and improving the business model. You need to stay very focused on your business. You need to set the goals and let those goals be achieved. You need to maintain the capital. As I told you, the finance is really very important when it comes to, see, finance is going to be important in all the stages basically. Talk about stage 1 that we have already discussed. Stage 2 also, you have to maintain the capital in that case. And you, for that, to be into that stage 2, to maintain yourself, your business at stage 2, you need to be very creative, you need to be very realistic, right? And there has to be accurate forecast that can help you to achieve the goals, and you are keeping yourself on track. So for that purpose, the strategy, as I told you, what is the strategy at this stage is that you have to survive. You need to make sure that the business is looking for new ways of survival, whether it is in the form of financial projection, whether it is in the form of innovation, it is in the form of creation, whatsoever, right? To move to the next phase of the business growth, the company must make profits. And what do you mean by making profits? By making profit, we mean that you are generating a good cash flow so that you are able to stay in the business and there is a growth in your business. Is that clear? So this is about stage 2, that after you have you have started up a new product, there is a new startup, now you have to fight for the survival. You have to do the feasibility study, you have to stay focused on your business, look for the capital, and try to understand and implement the different methodologies which are used for marketing your product, managing the sales of your product, and the overall management of the company's operations, and even a lot more. Next slide, please. Okay, after the second stage comes the stage 3. Now, this is the business maturity stage, and this is often known as the success stage. Now, why this is known as the success stage is that it has established, your business has established a presence, right? And now it has come to sure, it is ensured that there are going to be consistent profits. You have expanded your business, right? The brand, you will find that the brand itself has made a place in the market. The brand has now, it is separate from the owner at this point of stage. You will find that there are different accounting practices, there are different marketing plans, and the production systems, again, they have come to place, right? What sort of marketing are you going to do? What sort of plans are you going to put into action? So all these things, they have come into place at this particular stage. And again, the main strategy is to keep your business stable and to keep your business profitable. Fine. And to manage the cash flow of the organization. Because again, the company, there are going to be different issues. There are some different issues in this stage. But if you are able to, maintain, if you are able to keep your company at a stable position, if you are able to have that profitable position in the organization, if you are able to manage the cash flow, then the business is sure that even if there are tough times, the business can stand through. But this is possible only when you have a stable system at this particular stage. At this particular stage, you will find that you do not need to put a lot of efforts. Minimal efforts are required, and there are going to be lots of profits at this particular stage. That is the business maturity stage. Your business has matured at this particular stage. Next slide, please. The next stage is that stage 4, that is the business renewal, or it can even decline, right? Now, what is business renewal? After you have after the business has gone through stage 3, you have seen there is a lot of success, but whether are you able to maintain this success or not? Whether you are able to maintain the demand of the current market or not. If you are able to maintain the current demand, well, it's fine. But if you are not able to get enough opportunities, right, during the maturity stage, then you will find that there is a decline in your business, and this is stage 4. And to overcome this decline stage, what you need to do is you need to renew your business. As again, it comes to the focus that business development, it's not a one time process, it's an ongoing process. So if you want to make this an ongoing process, right, if you want to make sure that you have created a value for the organization, so you have to renew your business at this point of time. Whether you, what is your, who are the different competitors in the market, right? Whether you are apt with the technical aspect, what are your customer demands. So accordingly, you have to renew your business at this point of time. Otherwise, what is going to happen? You will find a steep decline in your business. Many companies, they were not able to stand through, right? And that is the reason that they have gone through this decline stage. Talk about many mobile phones company. Nokia was one such brand, right? But because with the, when there was an advent of smartphones, so with the coming of smartphones, when Nokia was not able to maintain a place, there was a steep decline. You might have seen in the sales figure of Nokia. And again, now Nokia has renewed itself, and it is trying to make a place in the market in the different ranges of smartphone. But yes, it's going to be difficult right now, right? Because if it would have been at that point of time, then things might have been different. Right now, there are lots of companies. If I talk about in the mobile phone area, there are lots and lots of companies which are there right now, which are giving um, cheap mobile phones with the best facilities. But there are lots of things, there are lots of, it is basically, it is meeting the customer's demand also, and it is technically apt also. So if you want your business to keep a place in the market, then make sure that you are innovative, right? And your business is renewed. If it is not going to be renewed, then there is going to be a steep decline in the business. And that is the reason that many of the organizations, they, although they come up with a new startup, right, they go through the growth stage also, they see some of the survival stage, the success stage also. But what happens is after that, they are not able to cope up with the different brands around, with the different competitors around. And for that reason, there is a decline in that particular brand or that product. And for that purpose, make sure that you are renewing your business, because it's an ongoing process. Okay, next slide, please. Now, talking about the advantages and disadvantages of business development. What are the advantages of business development? The first is the organization, it grows, it expands, right? You are finding new opportunities for your organization, for the big business. You are developing the strategies, you are you are increasing basically the revenue and the profits, right? When you are expanding yourself into the new markets, you are reaching new customers, you are building strong relationships also with the existing customers, right? So this is one of the biggest advantage, that because we are living in this globalized world, so if you want to maintain your place in this world, you have to make sure that you are reaching the new markets, which is possible when you are developing your business. When your business, if your business is going to be stagnant, then it's going to be very difficult. So you have to make sure that you are constantly evolving your business. The next is that the business, it also, we have already discussed that it maintains a strong relationship with the customer, and you are identifying the opportunities and developing the plans, right, for the sales strategy, for marketing, and all these things. It helps the business to make better use of the resources and achieve a desired result, to make a place, to achieve a value for itself, right? Sometimes when you are doing this business development, when you are going through this business development stages, so it also helps the business to reduce the risk. Why? Because you are doing the feasibility study, you are assessing the opportunities, you are developing the strategy, you are making a detailed plan of action also, right? So when you are doing such a deep study, so definitely it reduces the risk associated with whatever products you have launched, if you want to expand the market, if you want to grow also. So all these things, it helps the business to grow. But again, as to every coin has both the sides, right? So there are some disadvantages also, and the very first disadvantage is that it consumes a lot of time, right? Because sometimes it is also difficult that you are not able to find the right people at the right time. And because time is very crucial, and to develop your business, it takes a lot of time. So you have to invest a lot of time in that, and along with time, you are going to you have to make sure that you are investing a lot of money. A lot of money is definitely going to be invested. Why? Because sometimes it might be the need that you have to hire the the consultants, you have to take expert advice also. So for that purpose, you have to invest in all these things, right? And to this is basically, this investment is done so that it can support your business development efforts. So this is that it is, yes, it has that is advantage that you have to invest a lot in this. And definitely after doing a lot of efforts, it might be possible that your business is not getting the desired result, right? Because again, there are going to be lots of competitors in the market. So how much effort you have done, but if you're not able to evolve yourself with the changing times, then again it might be possible that you are not getting the desired result, although you have put in a lot of labor for the same. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is the future of this business development? See, the future of business development is it is basically, it keeps on evolving. It is always evolving, right? This means that the role of business development professional, whosoever is developing the business, right, it is also changing with time. If we go back to the past, right, so this business development, it was basically focused on that you are going to be the entrepreneur, that is, you are generating new leads, and you are closing the new business deals. But if I talk about the today's business development professionals, so today's business development professionals, they are taking a much broader role. You will find that they are responsible for developing the product, for finding out some new strategies also, right? And for to make some new innovative changes in the product also. So for that purpose, you have to stay update, right? You need to stay update with the latest trends, with the latest technology, and you have to find out the new opportunities. For that purpose, you need to make sure that the business development professionals, they possess the ability to think out of the box, because time is changing, and if you are not going to change with the changing time, then it's going to be difficult for the business to maintain a position, right? So this means that you should you should be able to take the risk, and you need to think outside of the traditional ways of doing things. See, there is a lot of opportunity, and if you are able to adapt with the change, with the changing time, right? So it is going to be easy for your business to maintain a position, of itself in the current market. Otherwise, there are many companies which were there in the past, right? But they are not able to maintain their position, and therefore, their business life cycle, it has seen a decline in the coming times. But again, if you are able to retain your customer, if you are able to maintain whatever the feedback the customers are giving, if you are able to cope up with that, right, so it is going to be easy for you. Apart from that, what sort of finances are you having, right? So it is going to help you a lot in that point of view to have a bright future for developing your business. But you need to make sure that you are coping up with the changing times. Next slide, please. Now, as we discussed about the business development process, the different stages of business development. So similarly, it goes for the product life cycle also. Now, this product life cycle, basically, it maps the product's journey from when the product was launched till the product is being discontinued, or whether it is continued or not, right? So there are different, again, as there was the different stages in the business development cycle, so similarly there the same stage is there in the product life cycle also. Again, as you can see that you are developing the product, right? You have developed the product after doing a thorough market research, whether the costs are involved, what is going to be the revenue, again, whatever we did in the first stage of the business development cycle. So similarly, the same is going to be here also in the product life cycle also. So you have done a thorough study of the market. Sometimes you will find that there are different sales strategies which are there in the market, right? For example, sometimes the companies, they even go for the sample free trials products, the sample products. They give you that, in case if you don't like the product, we are going to give you this. There is a money back guarantee. There is a discount for the early birds. So these are some of the sales strategies you will find that are there in the different life cycle of the product. That is the development and the introduction stage. The next is the growth stage, which is again that you have successfully studied the market, you have introduced the product to the target market, and now the product is there. The product is there in where the competitors will usually enter the market also. Again, if your product is strong enough, you will be able to handle this particular thing, right? And if not, then again, you have to go through this decline stage. As you can see on the slide that there are various products. For example, the products in the introduction stage right now is the self-driving cars, artificial intelligence application, the smart glasses. So all these products, they are in the introduction stage. They have been just introduced. The company is working under all these things, right? There is a lot of market research which goes on, and accordingly taking into consideration the financial constraints, the customer feedback, the customer, what is the current need of the market, the current need of the customer. So these products are in the introduction stage. There are various other products which are in the growth stage. For example, you will find that the electric vehicles, they are in the growth stage. There are the market of the electric vehicle, it has considerably improved. In 21, if I say, it was around USD 1.45 billion, and by 29 you will find that it is going to see a steep increase, a high increase in this electric vehicle market. Again, taking into consideration the same thing, online education. Just go back to the COVID times. Before that, you will not find the online education, right? Right now we are meeting online. So this is basically the growth stage of online education, and it is going to be there in the coming times also. Many institutes, they are doing this hybrid mode of teaching, right? Because this online education, this online teaching, it is the need of the hour. So you have to meet with the market demands, with the need of the customers, with the changing times, as we have already discussed, so that your product stays in the market, right? The next is examples of products in the maturity stage. There are many products, again taking into consideration the smartphones and the laptops. You will find a large range of smartphones. Is that clear? Now these smartphones, again, you will find some of the things which are there in one smartphone. Again, if you are going to go through the different smartphones, they are having a lot of different varieties in the smartphone. Even if I talk about the laptops which were there previously, and now the laptops which are there, so how it is evolving, it's right. So this is basically the maturity stage, that they are evolving themselves and they are seeing this maturity stage where they are taking out the maximum profits, right? So this is the maturity stage, and these are the examples of the maturity stage. The next is the examples of products which are in the declining stage. Right now, you have Maruti. If I talk about Maruti, then it has stopped making the diesel vehicles. No more the diesel vehicles are going to be there. Talk about the personal computers. It is nowhere to be seen, right? The wired earphones which were there previously, the CD, the DVD players. Now everything, it has changed. We used to have those cassettes previously, it has gone. Then came the DVD, CD. Again, it has gone. Then came something different, right? So technology, it keeps on evolving, it keeps on changing. And all these are examples of the products in the different stages, and how these products, they are because some of the products which were not able to maintain this need of the hour, so they are on the declining stage. Whereas some of the products, because they were able to meet with the demand of the hour, so these products were at the maturity stage. And these products, for example, the smartphones and the laptops, they have become the best version, and they are enjoying the market penetration right now, right? So this stage, we have already discussed, this maturity stage is the most profitable stage. But along with the profitable stage, it is also the most competitive stage, because there are lots of smartphones. There are lots of companies which are making smartphones, cheap smartphones. So you have to maintain your place in the market. And for that purpose, do the market research, keep on evolving, because business development process, it's not a one-time plan. It is an ongoing process. Is that clear? And for that purpose, you have to keep on evolving yourself. Next slide, please. Again, if we have a look, how previously, if I talk about, the cars, today you will find there is a lot of SUV demand in the market. The cars which were there previously, talk about Alto, right? Maruti Alto, it's no more. It has stopped making, because the customer demand is like this. The customer wants that comfort. The customer wants that, that look. So all these things taken into consideration, now the market is of the SUV cars. And again, this SUV car, right? It has current market is around 42.5%, and it can rise up to 45% in the coming months or in the coming years. So just imagine that these SUV cars, if they are holding the 45% of the market range, so it is covering a lot of area in the market, right? And again, there are different brands which are into, for example, if I talk about Kia, so the Kia Seltos and the Sonet, you will find the market is flooded with these particular cars. Talk about this Maruti Brezza and the Grand Vitara. So again, the market is flooded with all these SUVs, right? So what is the why I have given you the example is because you have to meet the current market demands. If you are not able to meet the current market demands, then you will find that your products will no more be seen in the market. Just imagine if talk about Maruti, if it would have continued with Maruti 800. So what would be the scenario of Maruti right now? It would be nowhere, but it has kept on evolving itself, and that is the reason that it has a strong place in the market, right? So next slide, please. Thank you for all that we have discussed today. I hope that you have enjoyed and you understood how you need to develop your business and what is the current market, how you need to do the market analysis, what is the importance of research, how you need to retain your customers, and the most important is maintain the cash flow. Is that clear? So this was all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session.
Okay, thank you so much, Apurva.
Thank you for sparing, ma'am, your valuable time for our students. I request IT team to please share a word of appreciation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Apurva. Any queries from your side, from the students? In case if there are any queries, otherwise we can end the session.
Do you have any questions? I think, ma'am, we can end the session. Okay. If there are any queries and any questions, then I'll connect you for the same. Okay. And thank you so much for your valuable time. And I'll be sharing this certificate of appreciation via email too.
Sure. Thank you so much, Apurva.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Can I leave?
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay, thank you.